Bitcoin liquidity is piling up again, and just like last time around, I exactly predicted that, of course, due to the lower side liquidity, Bitcoin was likely going to have a slight little drop. I am right now seeing something major playing out in the market again here, because now we are building up a lot of liquidity around the all-time high for Bitcoin. So in today's update video, I obviously will be doing a deep dive in towards this. I will be talking exactly about the most important structures we're currently seeing here on the Bitcoin price. I want to be exactly talk about the most important resistance, the Bitcoin bull flag pattern, and so much more things here, because the Bollinger Bands as well are right now showing us that the momentum is getting squeezed up right now here, and that literally we are about to see an absolutely explosive move here, because now the Bollinger Bands is being on the tightest level it has been since February 2024. So a lot to discuss, including some very important stories on Ethereum, on the market. I will also give a big update on my current ongoing Ethereum trade. So yeah, all this and much more will be getting discussed on today's update video. Once again, slap on that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated, and let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So to kick off the video, of course, right now Bitcoin is creating a very interesting structure, right? First of all, we broke above the previous high in the market. Then, of course, we got rejected from that high. We got rejected from approximately a month ago here. But at the same time, Bitcoin remains to be setting higher lows on the lower side. So we're slightly creeping up right now here. And to be very honest, where I am looking the most at right now is, of course, that liquidity heat map. And like you can see on this chart, there's a ton of liquidity being built up around that 111,000 US dollar level. And to be exact, there are approximately 100 million plus of Bitcoin short liquidations laying exactly at that level. And just like I also discussed on previous videos, basically Bitcoin tends to follow the liquidity where it gets built up, right? Last time around, it was getting built up below us. I warned everyone about it. And what happened afterwards? It was Bitcoin that exactly moved towards the downside to grab out that liquidity. But now, this time around, it is once again piling up above us. So this is, of course, ultimately quite a bullish signal if you would ask me here. And of course, if we're going to be grabbing it out, Bitcoin is probably going to be moving all the way up towards about 111,000 US dollars, which is, of course, clearly above the previous range high here. And of course, I will be expecting, as we're going to be seeing that next move towards the upside, that Bitcoin will be finding some resistance around that 111,000 US dollar level, because that is, of course, clearly the main resistance for Bitcoin at this moment of time here, because I can even extend this level, and you can clearly see we already got rejected by this level for over 3 times in a row right now here. So I won't be surprised that this level will be once again acting as major resistance for Bitcoin. Further on, of course, we already identified this level on the 8-hour time frame, and ultimately on the 12-hour time frame, we're still trading in this major consolidation phase here. And as long as we're not breaking outside of this major consolidation phase, Bitcoin will just remain to be trading very closely in this pattern. And of course, whenever we're going to be breaking outside of it, we're probably going to be seeing some more explosive price action. Of course, Bitcoin is creating that bull flag pattern. I discussed it many times before already. We are also have been creating one major one before, which took about 9 months of consolidation. But of course, if you're just looking at this pattern right here as well, it's just the exact same pattern, only on a lower time frame. And ultimately also for this time around, whenever we're going to be breaking outside of this pattern, it is just going to be showing us and will be indicating towards us that we will be getting a major move for Bitcoin. So yeah, ultimately we're literally trading so close towards all-time highs. We're seeing Bitcoin really coiling up here with, first of all, creating lower lows in the market, and now we're creating a higher low in the market. And yeah, the structure has clearly changed here, and whenever we're going to be breaking clearly above the previous high, that is, of course, whenever Bitcoin is going to be seeing the big continuation towards the upside. So yeah, I'm very excited for what is about to be happening next there. Bitcoin is obviously creating this inverse head and shoulders pattern right now. Whenever we clear the neckline, which is going to be that 111,000 US dollars, the level keeps on coming back here, because that is also the most important resistance, and of course where the liquidity is currently laying. But whenever we clear that level on the top side, we are obviously going to be flying much higher. But indeed, Bitcoin has been very boring. And if you're also looking at the Bollinger Bands right now here, you can clearly see it. The Bitcoin Bollinger Bands is very squeezed up here. And to be exact, it has never been so squeezing up here since February 2024 here. So back in February 2024, like you can see here, it was also super tight here. And once again, it is very tight right now. And what happened after February 2024? Basically, Bitcoin saw a big continuation towards the upside. So something similar is once again likely to be expected. Then yesterday also, we got something very big here. The Invest America Act got cleared by Congress. If it is also going to come through the House here, it means that every child in the US will get a free $1,000 of S&P 500 in a starter account at birth. So that is, of course, going to be quite big here. So everyone who's going to be born in the United States of America with a United States of America passport will get a free $1,000 in the S&P 500 to be invested in the system. So that is actually quite insane here. The S&P 500 also reacted quite positively towards this, setting straight away a new all-time high here. The markets are not open at this moment of time here, but it's of course a very interesting thing that happened. And ultimately, it is basically more capital in the market, which is ultimately great for not only the S&P 500, but for all assets. And of course, also Ethereum, it has been very boring. Nothing really happened recently. Of course, like most people know here, I'm in a major trade on Ethereum, which is still in a $470,000 in profit, but I am aiming much higher than we're currently sitting. I mean, we saw the fake out on the top side. We saw the fake out on the lower side. This is the exact setup I've been waiting for, and I do think we're going to be running much higher from off this point here. I mean, yeah, we still got rejected by this gray box of resistance, but whenever we're going to be clearing it, I think we're going to be moving up towards the 3K region. And of course, if we clear that resistance, $4,000 is going to be a very likely next level here. Also, we are seeing that currently the Russell 2000 is quite clearly decoupling with Ethereum. Well, actually, the Russell 2000 and Ethereum have been very correlated with each other. So it's something very interesting what is currently happening. And most likely Ethereum is going to be catching up again here, because basically the Russell 2000 is the Ethereum of the stock market, right? And they have been closely following each other. And of course, now they are decoupling. But I do think eventually Ethereum is going to be catching up here. And that will be, of course, very great here. Because also, one of the great things we've been seeing happening on Ethereum is major inflows on the ETF here. I mean, you can see already that last week we got the biggest inflow on a daily basis, the third largest daily inflow on Ethereum ever recorded on the ETF here. So that shows you what kind of interest there currently is here. And also, in the last 2 months, $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum was bought, approximately 600,000 ETH. And that is only by BlackRock. So, yeah, of course, we've got many of these other ETF issuers as well here, but this is only by BlackRock. BlackRock has been accumulating Ethereum in a very rapid pace here. And of course, it is absolutely insane. In only the last 30 days, they've already bought more than $600 million. So it's quite insane here. And also, if you're just looking at the stats or in terms of the ecosystems which are growing the most there, it is clearly Ethereum. Everything is dying off here except Ethereum. And of course, I am betting very heavily on that with my current ongoing trade here. I do believe that ultimately the price is going to be reflecting it. And I do think that ultimately Bitcoin is going to be moving towards the upside and Ethereum is going to be following Bitcoin. Because I think Bitcoin is still coiling up very heavily right now here. Just look at all the charts. We're starting to create these higher lows at the top side of the region. And of course, if we break the resistance, I think we're going to be flying much higher for Bitcoin. And Ethereum is going to be benefiting very heavily from that. So yeah, this was it for me in today's update video. I mean, all in all, it has not been a very special video. There's not a lot of stuff happening right now here. But guys, this is always happening. What is happening in the market right now here. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stop with that like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.